The ratio of diameter and height of a right circular cylinder is 4:3. If diameter of the cylinder gets reduced by 25% and then its total surface area is reduced by 416 pi square meter, what is the circumference of the base of the cylinder? Alright, so now there is this cylinder, and this is the height of the cylinder, and this is the radius, and this is the diameter. We are given that the ratio of diameter and height of a cylinder is 4:3. So the ratio of diameter is to height is 4:3. Now, if diameter of the cylinder gets reduced by 25%, now there is this new diameter. So what we'll do is call this original diameter as D1 and original height as H1. Alright, now in order to solve this question much more efficiently, what we'll do is write all the equations in terms of D1. Alright, write all the equations in terms of D1. So now we have D1 by H1 as 4/3, or I can say that I can write this as H1 is equals to, H1 will go on the right hand side, so 3/4 will get H1 as 3/4 D1, right? Now R1 here will be half of D1, right? We are writing all the equations in terms of D1. So R1 here will be D1 by 2. Okay, so we are asked the total surface area is reduced by 416 pi square meter. So first of all, what we'll do is calculate the original total surface area. Okay, so what will be the formula of this total surface area? So first of all, what we'll do is take the area of this circle, which is pi r square. Take the area of this bottom circle, again pi r square. And when we cut this this cylinder in half and open it up, we'll get something like a rectangle. Okay, so the breadth of this rectangle here will be the height only, and the length here will be the circumference of this upper circle. Okay, so the circumference formula is 2 pi r. So the formula that we get for total surface area is pi r square plus this pi r square plus pi r square plus this 2. This is a rectangle, and the area of rectangle is length into breadth, so 2 pi r into h. So 2 pi r h. This is 2 pi r square. Let's take 2 pi r common. We are left with r plus h. So we have derived the formula for total surface area. Now this is the formula for total surface area. Now we are talking about the original cylinder. So let's write r1 and h1 here. Let's substitute the value of r1 and h1. So we get 2 pi, r1 is d1 by 2. Again d1 by 2 plus h1 here is 3/4 d1. So 2 gets cancelled. So we get LCM here will be 4, and pi d1 into 2 d1 plus 3 d1, or I can say that this is 5 d1, and this will be equals to 5 pi d1 square by 4. So we have got the value of the original total surface area, which is 5 pi d1 square by 4. Okay, now we are reducing the diameter by 25%. So there will be another diameter, let's call it d2, right? And this d2 is reduced by 25% of d1. Okay, so this is d1 and this is reduced by 25%. So how much is left? 100 minus 25, 75% of d1 is left, and this is equals to the new diameter, which is d2. So we get 75 25 3s and 25 4s. So we have d2 as 3/4 d1, right? And again what will r2 here will be? It will be d2 by 2, half of d2, right? Half of d2. D2 is 3/4 d1, or I can say that this is equals to 3/8. Okay, so r2 here is 3/8 d1. All right, and there is no change in the height, so we'll write h2 is equals to h1, which is h1 is 3/4 d1. All right, so new total surface area here will be, we know the formula, which is 2 pi r plus h, 2 pi r plus h. But since this is the new cylinder we are talking about, whose diameter is reduced by 25%, so we'll write R2, R2 and H2. Okay, so let's substitute the values here. So we get 2 pi, R2 here is 3 by 8 D1 and R2 again 3 by 8 D1 plus H2 is 3 by 4 D1. Okay, so 2 ones are 2 fours are 8. So we get 3 pi D1 by 4 and here LCM would be 8 only and 3 D1 plus 4 2s are 8 and 2 3s are 6 D1. So we get 8 fours are 32 and 6 7 8 9 9 into 3 27 pi D1 square. So we have original total surface area which is 5 pi D1 square by 4 and new total surface area which is 27 pi D1 square by 32. We are given that after this reduction of 25%, the total surface area is reduced by 416 pi square meter. What does this mean is when we subtract this new total surface area from this original total surface area, the difference here is of 416 pi square meter. Alright, so let's do that. Original minus this new. So original here is, I'll just write it over here. So original here is 5 pi D1 square by 4. This minus, okay, so this minus new which is 27 pi D1 square by 32 and this difference is given to us as 416 pi, okay, 416 pi square meters. This is the unit. So let's solve this. So we get LCM as 32 and 4 8s are 32 and 8 5s are 40. So 40 pi D1 square minus 32 1s are 32 and 27 pi D1 square is equals to 416 pi. Now what will happen is this 32 will go on the right hand side and get multiplied. So this 32 will go over here and get multiplied here. So we are left with 40 minus 27 will be 13 pi D1 square is equals to 416 pi into 32. Now 13 ones are 13 3s are 39, 2 remaining 13 2s are 36. So pi again gets cancelled. So we are left with D1 square which is equals to 32 into 32. Alright, or I can say that this is under root of 32 into 32, or I can simply say that this is D1 is equals to 32. I hope you get it. This is basic maths. So D1 is equals to 32. What are we asked here is what is the circumference of the base of the cylinder. So base of the cylinder, this is the base of the cylinder and the circumference formula is 2 pi r. Since we are talking about the original cylinder, we'll write R1, right? And R1 is half of D1, right? So R1 is half of D1. D1 is we've just calculated, it is 32 by 2. So 2 16s are. So 2 pi into 16. 16 2s are 32 pi. So we have got the circumference of the base of the cylinder which is 32 pi square meter and this is our required answer. So here option A is the correct one.